Despite its relative proximity to Earth and the significant progress that space exploration has made in recent years, the Moon remains a great mystery to humanity. Right now, mysterious things are happening on our satellite, and new research shows that the Moon is far more mysterious than we thought. It's worth finding out more about it. This is Infinity, and in this episode, I'll tell and show you what strange things are happening on the Moon right now. Let's go! At the moment, a video telling about the recent appearance of unidentified objects near the Moon is gaining popularity in social networks. A user who posted the video is Jean-Michel Tanaka. He states that the video is made by an acquaintance of his who often photographs and videotapes the Moon, usually during the increscent moon or retrograde phases. During these periods, it's much easier to detect activity near the Moon as the shadows cast by flying objects lengthen and become more visible on the surface at this angle of illumination. The video has impressed many people. It shows mysterious objects moving near the surface of the Moon. Here they're shown in close-up. Many say they might have gone unnoticed without the enlargement of the picture. Also, users admit that this is the best UFO video they've ever seen. It clearly shows quite large objects flying over the surface of the Moon. One user who often observes the Moon through a telescope says he's seen similar objects several times and they appeared during daylight hours. Whatever it is, they're obviously attracted to the Moon by something. At our disposal, we have quite a few photos of the lunar surface which depict phenomena and objects that have no explanation so far. Let's look at the most striking examples. On the 40th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission, Google released Google Moon, a special version of Google Earth with images of the lunar surface. NASA posted freely available satellite photos of the lunar surface and even enabled the Street View function. In 2014, a YouTuber came across an image of the satellite surface that showed a strange object shaped like the body of a living creature. It had limbs and cast a shadow on the ground. It looked like a large object. Many believe that it's none other than the ancient Greek statue of Colossus of the Moon. In fact, it's most likely an object of pareidolia. It occurs when our minds try to model the meaning of random objects and objects that do not exist. By the way, did you know that there are man-made objects hidden on the Moon? What are these structures? Who built them? And do they have an explanation? Stay tuned to find out the answers to these questions and learn more about the mysteries of the Moon. Apollo 16 mission was the 5th successful mission with the Moon landing. It's of the greatest interest to supporters of the conspiracy theory. After the landing on April 27, 1972, the astronauts managed to capture a UFO on camera. This is one of the best UFO videos in the history of UFO sightings. Also, there are high-resolution photographs of the object. In 1994, NASA deployed the Automatic Interplanetary Station Clementine to study the Moon and Earth from space. Since then, it's been able to make many interesting discoveries. It also may have contributed to solving a great mystery. One of the images of a section of the surface of the dark side of the Moon showed an object shaped like the letter V. The object looked lighter than the surrounding areas, and its shape seems too regular for a natural object. It's located in a crater, which is also unique because it has a flat structure. There's a hypothesis that there's a secret U.S. military base there. It must be said that in the U.S., there is talk of creating such a base. A phenomenon on the Moon. Scientists report that strange luminous spots appear here and there on the surface of the Moon. In some areas, the glow is constant, but it's not possible to predict when it will disappear and then reappear. Some old photos of Stein crater dating back to 1975 show luminous areas. Some conspiracy theory proponents believe there may be an object used by space aliens to charge their spaceship's batteries. It's also possible that the camera lens caught some spontaneous phenomenon. However, the flash captured in the original photograph is too small to be analyzed. At this point, the nature of the phenomenon, which has been observed for several decades, remains unsolved. Apollo 12 was the second successful manned mission to the Moon. In the course of the mission, a number of photographs were taken. In particular, a photograph taken by astronaut Charles Pete Conrad of his colleague Alan Bean has some mystery. In the reflection of the helmet of the spacesuit, Pete can be seen photographing him. Also, there were other blurry reflections on that glass that sparked discussion. There was a glowing object visible at the top of the helmet glass. Behind Conrad, there was a shadow that resembled this object in shape. The story has spawned numerous hypotheses as to what it might have been. Those who are inclined to argue that the mission to the moon was only a staging believe that the phenomenon proves them right, but it's more likely that these phenomena are due to the poor quality of the photo. This picture was also taken during one of the Apollo missions. Something resembling a man-made object can be seen on the lunar surface. It looks like a cylinder. For many years, scientists, skeptics, and ordinary citizens have been trying to understand what it is. Its size is unknown. It may be some massive object or an object the size of a tin can. Either way, it's completely out of place in the lunar landscape. At this time, no one knows what the object is and how it got to the moon. Extraterrestrial forces. During the Apollo 11 mission, a conversation took place between the crew of Neil Armstrong and NASA's Mission Control Center, in which Armstrong reported that the crew had noticed signs of the presence of alien creatures and that team members felt that they were being watched.
What was it? What the hell was it? That's all I want to know.
In 1979, Maurice Chatelain, a NASA communications specialist involved in the design of the Apollo spacecraft, officially announced that contact between the Apollo 11 crew and aliens was known to all space agency personnel. Neil Armstrong noted that the alien spaceships were technologically far more advanced. They believed there was an alien base on the moon. Edgar Mitchell, a member of the Apollo 14 mission, officially stated in 2008 that he believed other life forms existed. According to him, they were little people of a somewhat strange appearance. The tidal forces of Earth have formed a rotation algorithm for the moon, according to which the duration of its revolution around its axis is approximately equal to the period of the Earth's revolution around its axis. Therefore, the moon always faces the Earth with one side. The first photographs of the dark side of the moon were transmitted to Earth by the Soviet Luna 3 spacecraft in 1959. Later, the Apollo 8 mission found that the surface of the dark side of the moon did not differ much from that of the visible side. It also had plains and craters. But history has spawned rumors that the dark side of the moon is home to a military base of aliens from other worlds. Most researchers refute this data because so far it's been possible to obtain a huge number of good quality images and make a detailed map of the dark side of the moon. However, no signs of life have been found. Although the dark side of the moon is still hidden from the observer's eye, scientists have found a fairly simple way to describe its surface, which will help shed light on its evolutionary history. They derived a mathematical formula which makes it possible to study at least 1/4 of the moon's geographic and geological potential, including the plains located on the dark side of the moon. The landforms of the visible side and dark side are not the same. For example, mountain ranges on the dark side of the moon are on average 1.9 kilometers higher than those on the visible side. This is explained by processes that took place at earlier stages of the moon's evolution. Scientists derived the formula using topographic and gravitational data from studies of the South Pole Aitken Basin, the largest crater on the moon. It's used to study the effect of Jupiter's tidal forces on its satellite Europa, which has a molten rock ocean beneath its surface. A similar ocean existed beneath the surface of the moon about 4.4 billion years ago. This ocean was subjected to strong tidal forces of Earth, which lasted until the rock solidified, resulting in the formation of the modern relief of the lunar surface. That's all, guys. Do you believe there could be aliens living on the moon? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.